Hi, this is John Sample providing some further instruction for the improvement plan or strategic plan, assignment number 2 for the students of EDWN 640. You can see the assignment description on this slide. It's important before completing this assignment or before beginning this assignment, review your district or your school's academic achievement data. This is not an assignment of just how to you would create a process for an improvement plan or a strategic plan, but really personalize this to where you're at now. Review your district's academic achievement data, your district's plan, and then that's where you're going to provide, that's going to provide the impetus then for this assignment. So it's not necessarily an exercise of the process of an improvement plan or a strategic plan, but your plan. So make sure that you review your district or school's academic achievement data in order to bring some relevancy to this assignment. You'll see on the next slide as well, we're going to talk a little bit more about this. I do not want this assignment to be daunting. While there is the strategic plan and improvement plan is a very critical piece of every district and every school building success, you are simply going to describe the process. So we will discuss the assignment in further detail with your admin cert area in the next few slides. I've reversed the order just a little bit from the way you see it appearing on the syllabus. The principal description is first on the syllabus, followed by the Director of Instruction, Special Ed Pupil Services, School Business Admin, and Superintendent certifications. The reason I reversed this was for those of you that are seeking dual certification, which includes principalship, you want to start with the big picture. You want to start at the district level and then start to zero down and focus down into the building. There has to be alignment for those of you that are dual cert. So you can see that you're going to describe the process you would use to develop a district 5-year plan. All strategic plans, all improvement plans are multi-year plans. Ours is 3 years, some are 5 years, but this is to get you forward thinking and looking for where you're going to be in the future. Please be sure to identify the stakeholders, how they're going to be included in the process, the methods by which you will solicit input, and how that plan is going to cascade to connect the organization. The plan should include how you're going to evaluate that annually at the end of 5 years. Actually, I would say too that the evaluation is important at the end of each and every year because priorities will change, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments. Here's the description of the assignment from the principal-only certification perspective. You're going to identify that process again. You're not creating a plan, you're creating a process used for writing the annual school improvement plan. Notice that this is not multi-year, but this is annual. You're going to be thinking of 1 year at a time for this. You're going to use some multiple data points, student achievement, resources, course offerings, etc. It could even include school calendar, your PLC times, how your department meetings or how your staff meetings are going to align, how you're going to structure those things. But you're describing the process, you're not creating the plan. And you're going to explain how that building's improvement plan would align to the district's strategic plan. So for you dual certs, I would say that you're going to start with your Central Office Administrative certification first. That's going to give you the district plan, and then you can roll right into a building specific plan that's going to align perfectly with what the district's goals are. The alignment here is critical. For those of you seeking principal certification only, put your principal hat on, look at your building, and to make this extremely relevant, you still need to understand what your current district plan is so that you can align your plan as a building principal to the mission, vision, and values of your district. Here is the rubric, and I always like to describe and make sure that I've covered the rubric for the distinguished. Since you are all here, you are all distinguished, and you all expect to complete distinguished work. So the improvement plan here, it's going to be the rationale for how the process promotes improvement. It's a strategic plan, it's an improvement plan. You must use data points. There's only three things we believe in, and that's data, data, and data. Also, identify the necessary resources that you will need for that improvement plan. Those can be human resources, that's with your multiple stakeholders, or other resources such as curriculum. Make sure that it aligns with all levels of your district in your organization, and include the evaluation loop. The important part here is this is one of those assignments, and I've underlined it and I've bolded it. Please include a reflective commentary. Reflection is where most of our cognitive abilities and our thinking and our memories start and end. And so this is a reflective process. I want to know what you've learned. I also want to know what questions you may have, or some questions that were answered by this assignment. So please make sure that at the end of whether it's a dual cert assignment that you've completed or the principal cert assignment that you've completed, make sure that you provide a reflective summary or reflective commentary at the end of this assignment. For two certs if you're dual, and for principal cert if you're principal. Here's some additional tips or strategies, some key input before you begin your assignment. Please make sure that everything is aligned. If you're doing dual cert, there's nothing more frustrating, I think, that when you've got a district with multiple buildings and each one of the buildings is doing something different than what the district is doing, or vice versa. But most of the time, the priorities, the mission, vision, and values cascade from the district level down to the buildings. So make sure that you have alignment. It should be all-inclusive. Make sure that you've considered every possible step along the way. There's not just a single data point. It's not just based on student achievement. It's not just based on student or staff wellness or fiscal responsibility. Strategic plans are all-inclusive, and they include everything needed to be able to move that district forward. Also, the consistent evaluation of that plan, whether it be at the end of a year, or at the end of 5 years, or at the end of 10 years, whatever your district's mission is and vision and what they value. The consistent evaluation, I can speak from my perspective, is we evaluate ours not only annually, but sometimes we'll evaluate our plan at mid-year and continuously. Annual evaluation of your plan is important because you will have admin turnover, and especially with superintendents, and I was guilty of this to a certain extent. When I became a superintendent, I had ideas of what I wanted to do with the district. Now, the benefit that I had was I was a director of special education in this same district, and so I had ideas that were not too far off from our mission and vision and values that I had currently operated under. But sometimes you'll get a new superintendent that will come in from another district or out of state and may not make changes right away, but may start to swing the priorities a little bit in a different direction. And so if you've got a 5-year plan and you've got a first-year superintendent coming in, a brand new superintendent, sometimes those there's the turnover that will change your district's priorities. And once your district priorities change, or your mission, vision, and values modify just a little bit or become revised, it's important that that strategic plan is evaluated for its effectiveness and make sure that it's still relevant. Also, again, don't forget, please be reflective and provide that reflective summary at the end of your assignment. That's critical for me to understand where you're at and what you've learned from this assignment. Thank you, and have fun with this one.